This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Starting out this morning, we've got a sad update on a story that we posted on Sunday and talked about yesterday on the Daily News Brief. But Michael Millard's body was found yesterday near the Jennifer Road Detention Center. He was the 24-year-old that lived in Annapolis and Stevensville. Police had discovered his car crashed along Jennifer Road, and the Jennifer Road Detention Center had called the discovery into Anne Arundel County Police. The police do not suspect any foul play, and they are not treating the death as a homicide. Yesterday at about 5:30 a.m., the Anne Arundel County Fire Department was called to the area of Sycamore Drive and Ritchie Highway South in Glen Burnie for a brush fire. When they arrived, they discovered an RV vehicle that was completely engulfed in flames. Once they extinguished the fire, they discovered male human remains inside the vehicle. Homicide detectives, fire marshals, and a forensic investigator from the chief medical examiner's offices are investigating this. At this time, the age, race, and cause of death have not been determined, and it is unknown if this is a criminal incident or an accidental incident. Anybody that has any information on that is asked to call the tip line at 410-222-4700. Let's slide into some better news. If you are a small brewery, good news. Legislation that would create more flexibility in the relationship between brewers and beer distributors has made it to the floor of both chambers of the General Assembly and looks like it is going to go to the governor's desk. This is sort of a remnant from Comptroller Peter Francho's bill from last year. It was resurrected a little bit this year, changed a little bit, and the one major change that you're seeing this year involves the threshold separating large and small brewers who have to meet different sets of standards when ending a business relationship with a distributor. Under the amended proposal, brewers who produce 30,000 or few barrels a year would be allowed to terminate a relationship with 45-day notice and without having to show good cause for the decision. Brewers who produce greater than 30,000 barrels annually would have to show good cause and give 180-day notice. The legislation originally defined a small brewer as any brewery that produced 300,000 barrels or fewer per year, which is 10 times the limit of what we see in this amended version. Comptroller Francho did speak out about this. He said, "I couldn't possibly be any happier with this. Of all the laws that have served us as an impediment to the growth and success of Maryland's craft beer industry, none have been more burdensome than the franchise law." And if you head on over to the MarylandCrabs.com, we did a podcast about a week ago with Comptroller Francho, and we discussed the beer thing as well as the move to try to wrestle some of the powers away from him. This is good news for everybody that drives the road, but bad news for 89 people. Over the weekend, Maryland State Police arrested 89 people for driving under the influence. They issued 999 speeding citations, and I don't know why they couldn't go for that one more, but hey, I'm not a state trooper. They issued 3,039 additional citations, 3,933 warnings, and conducted 5,843 traffic stops over the weekend. There were 141 crashes, including 3 that were fatal. Just to put a little bit of this into perspective, according to the Maryland Department of Transportation, in 2017, 558 people died on Maryland's roads, and roughly one-third of those involved impaired driving. Impaired drivers injured 3,200 people in 2017, and all of those deaths and injuries were preventable. So kudos to the Maryland State Police for getting the drunks off the road. Please don't drink and drive. We've got Uber. We've got all sorts of ways to get you home safe. Please take advantage of them. Kevin Plank is smiling up in Baltimore. With the final 68 teams all ready to play March Madness, a quarter of the schools in this year's NCAA men's basketball tournament will be wearing Under Armour on their uniforms, which is a new high for the Baltimore sportswear maker. This year, Under Armour has 17 schools in the 68-team field, which is a gain of 7 from the 10 teams they had last year. Nike is still the dominant one with 40 teams, including all 4 of the number 1 seeded teams. But good news for Under Armour. All right, that is about it for the top news today. Please make sure you check out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. Check out our show notes because we do have that top link, which will tell you all the different ways to connect with us. And if you're someplace where you can give us a rating or a review, please do that and give us a recommendation to your friends and colleagues. Want to follow the Maryland Crabs throughout this week? We're going to be releasing a whole bunch of crab cakes about the Annapolis Film Festival, which is coming into town on Thursday. And a little bit later in this podcast, we've got George Young with your local DMV weather forecast, and he's coming up just after this message from my favorite geek in Severna Park, Mac Medics.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is Mac Medics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore-Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road, or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, March 20th. It's a return to more sunshine today and tomorrow, with high temps in the 50s, which should be the start of a very nice 10-day stretch with mostly dry skies and increasingly warmer temps, except we're now keeping an eye on Thursday, as latest guidance is showing a possible low-pressure center spinning up near the North Carolina coast and moving up the eastern seaboard, possibly bringing some rain to the area. But beyond that, Friday looks nice, and the weekend looks great with sunshine and 50s on Saturday, and more sun and 60s on Sunday with dry skies continuing well into next week. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and on our website at dmvweather.com, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hey everyone, it's Lieutenant Krause from the Annapolis Police Department. Our spring fling to benefit the APD Scholarship Fund is Wednesday the 20th at the Market House on City Dock. It's a great party for even a better cause, helping our teens. If you missed out on a croquet ticket, we got them on our silent auction and the very last tailgate space too. All money raised goes directly to the Scholarship Fund. Live music, cool prizes, great food from 7 Annapolis eateries. Tickets for the spring fling are on sale now at Eventbrite.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.